Have you ever felt like your phone has more control over you than you have over it? It might sound exaggerated, but for many, social media has become a kind of invisible addiction. Every scroll through the feed is like pulling the lever on a slot machine. Unpredictable, stimulating, and hard to stop. And the worst part? This fun often leaves behind a trail of anxiety, procrastination, and even emptiness. What no one tells you is that these platforms are designed for this, and while you're scrolling, life is passing you by. But what if I told you that it's possible to regain control and use social media to your advantage without becoming a slave to it? The secret isn't in quitting entirely, but in understanding how these platforms manipulate your attention and then adopting strategies to make your online time more purposeful. Imagine enjoying the best of the digital world without that nagging feeling of missing out on the real world. Sounds good, doesn't it? So, how is your relationship with social media today? Leave your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts and help you on this journey. Unrestrained use of social media has shaped behaviors in ways few could imagine. Think about that habit of opening Instagram just for a minute, only to lose hours of your day. This isn't just about lost time, it's about how anxiety grows as we constantly see perfect lives on display. People may feel like they're never doing enough, creating a cycle of comparison that paralyzes. Imagine trying to finish an important project while your phone buzzes with notifications. Your attention drifts away, and with it, your productivity. Daily behaviors also shift almost imperceptibly. Face-to-face interaction, for instance, becomes increasingly rare when an emoji replaces a genuine smile. Many don't realize it, but excessive social media use can even affect mood. Normal days may feel inadequate because the mind is trained to seek constant stimulation. Have you noticed how many seem to live for the like? This kind of dependency isn't much different from what we see with other behavioral addictions. The point isn't to eliminate social media, but to understand how it's programmed to capture and hold our attention. Think about how you organize your online time. Setting limits, like using timers for apps or reserving specific moments to check your phone, is worthwhile. Small changes like these can make a huge difference, helping you regain a sense of control. And of course, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's much more to explore about how our behaviors are shaped. Many don't realize it, but behavioral addictions, like gambling, operate in patterns similar to chemical dependency. It's that momentary pleasure followed by a void that only more of the same activity can fill. Think of a casino, flashing lights, enticing sounds, and every spin promising you're almost there. Now compare this to the behavior of swiping through a TikTok or Instagram feed, a never-ending roulette of content where the next video might just be the one worth it. The similarity is undeniable. Just like casinos, social media platforms aren't designed to be neutral. The infinity of timelines and frequent notifications keep the brain in a reward cycle. The more time you spend, the more the platforms learn what captivates you, making it even harder to break away. This is where potential dependency starts to form. Anyone who's ever promised to stay online for just 10 minutes and ended up losing hours, neglecting something important, can relate. Breaking this cycle requires more than willpower. It demands conscious strategies. Just as a recovering gambler avoids casinos, someone dealing with digital addiction might try disabling notifications or using apps to limit screen time. Another tip is to replace routines. Instead of reaching for your phone first thing in the morning, why not read a chapter of an inspiring book? Small adjustments like these help transform habits, but the most interesting part is how they prepare us to better understand how social media influences our choices. Instagram started as a simple photo sharing app, but has evolved into an impressive business machine. Today, it's much more than a space for friends to exchange images. It's an ecosystem blending influencers, brands, and consumers. That seemingly casual post of a perfect breakfast? Often, it's a carefully planned ad. The algorithm ensures you see exactly what's most likely to grab your attention and, of course, open your wallet. The changes didn't stop at aesthetics. The focus now is on maximizing time spent on the platform. Tools like Reels and the Shopping tab are designed for entertainment and consumption, respectively. And who foots the bill? It's not just the user, but also the companies investing heavily in ads and partnerships. It's a cycle where online behavior is shaped to generate profit. A classic example is when you search for sneakers and suddenly see them everywhere on Instagram, as if the app is reading your mind. For users, this can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, having personalized content and shopping opportunities at your fingertips is amazing. On the other, it's important to remember that this design isn't accidental. A good practice is to reflect before clicking on every irresistible offer. Ask yourself, do I really need this now? This simple act of awareness can help balance your interactions on Instagram while creating room to understand the cultural impact of viral messages, as we'll see next. Memes, despite seeming like fleeting jokes, are powerful communication tools. They can condense complex ideas into accessible and viral formats, reaching millions in seconds. Think about that image paired with a phrase that perfectly captures how you feel about a current topic. Isn't it amazing how a simple meme can blend humor, critique, and reflection? This ability to synthesize is what makes them such a relevant cultural phenomenon. Beyond humor, memes can explain difficult concepts in a light and practical way. For example, global economic themes or social issues often come to life through images that make the content more comprehensible. It's like attending a quick and fun class without realizing you're learning. Who hasn't seen a meme explaining a complicated concept and thought, "Ah, now I get it"? This skill to simplify is valuable, but also raises questions about the impact of these messages on opinion formation. On the other hand, not everything is as simple as it seems. The reach of memes can spread misinformation just as easily as it conveys knowledge. That's why conscious consumption is essential. The next time you share a meme, ask yourself, is this information real or just funny? That way, while we laugh, we can also think critically about what we're absorbing. After all, understanding the mechanisms behind what goes viral on social media is a crucial step to navigating this universe more intelligently. Viral phenomena are the heartbeat of social media. That short, captivating video you can't stop watching. It was designed for that. The key lies in combining elements like humor, surprise, and emotional relevance, triggering an almost irresistible urge to share. It's the kind of content that turns a common idea into a global wave. Who hasn't heard of a dance everyone was doing or a phrase that became an instant catchphrase? For content creators, this dynamic is both an opportunity and a challenge. Producing something that goes viral isn't just about luck. It involves understanding what connects people and how to capture attention quickly. For example, the trend of short videos like Reels or TikToks directly responds to people's desire for quick, impactful content. But this constant pursuit of virality also comes at a cost: the pressure for constant innovation and the difficulty in maintaining relevance. The most interesting part is that viral phenomena shape how we relate to information and to the creators themselves. What captivates us for a few seconds might carry deep messages or sometimes be pure entertainment. The question is, how do we enjoy these moments without getting lost in the sea of stimuli? Understanding our digital habits could be the key to balancing the search for viral content with the need to consume it healthily. After all, how our interactions with technology impact our daily lives goes far beyond likes and shares. Extending this reflection, let's consider how prolonged social media use alters our perception of time. Have you noticed how scrolling through your feed can make 5 minutes turn into an hour in the blink of an eye? This feeling of lost time results from platform designs that keep you engaged with continuous updates and infinite content. The mind enters a state of hyperfocus on immediate stimuli, while the world around you seems to pause. It's like being trapped in a digital bubble. Another common effect is dissociation, losing connection with what's happening around you. Picture someone in the middle of an important meeting, mentally stuck on the last video they watched or the next notification. This disconnection can harm both professional performance and personal relationships. While it may seem harmless at first, it can lead to living on autopilot without truly appreciating the moment. A practical solution to counteract these effects is to set intentional pauses. Try creating small goals. 30 minutes of social media per day, or specific times of the day to disconnect, like during meals or before bed. Another tip is to swap phone time for enjoyable activities like a hobby or a walk outdoors. Re-educating our digital habits isn't about abandoning technology, but reclaiming control over how and when we connect. And this is just the beginning of building healthier social media practices. In a world increasingly connected, it's easy to forget the value of offline experiences. However, developing social skills beyond the screens is crucial for our well-being. Think about that casual conversation at a cafe or a walk with friends. These moments not only strengthen real-life bonds, but remind us that human interactions are richer than any exchange of messages or likes. After all, a smile or a glance can never be replaced by an emoji. The problem arises when we equate a strong digital presence with a fulfilling life. Posting photos or stories might bring instant validation, but it doesn't fill the void of superficial relationships. That's why seeking activities that foster real connections makes a difference. How about challenging yourself to join a community event, start a new group hobby, or even call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while? Believe it, these offline moments have a lasting emotional impact. Recognizing the importance of balancing online and offline doesn't mean excluding technology, but using it complementarily. Sharing your real-life experiences can be inspiring, but living them fully is what brings true satisfaction. Cultivating space for both worlds is essential, and this integration can even change how we view social media. Choosing to disconnect occasionally isn't a loss. It's a gain, as we'll explore with the idea of JOMO. While FOMO, the fear of missing out, drives us to consume more and more social media content, JOMO offers liberation. The joy of missing out is about finding pleasure in disconnecting and prioritizing what truly matters. Imagine choosing not to watch every update from an event, but instead savoring a moment of quiet, a good book, or a meaningful conversation. This conscious choice isn't isolation, it's an act of self-care. Embracing JOMO doesn't mean ignoring the world, but filtering what deserves your attention. For example, realizing that not keeping up with every trend or piece of news doesn't diminish your value allows you to live more authentically. How about practicing this by reserving parts of your day for yourself, away from screens? A walk in nature, cooking a new recipe, or trying meditation can be more enriching than endless scrolling. This mindset teaches us that being offline isn't about missing out. It's about gaining time and energy for more meaningful things. When you unplug from the constant flow of information, you rediscover the joy in small things often overlooked in the digital frenzy. Adopting JOMO reminds us that life happens here and now, not just on the screen. And it's in this contrast that we start to see the value of real, authentic interactions. Digital engagement often creates the illusion of connection, but are those interactions truly authentic? Likes, comments, and emojis can give a facade of engagement, but they don't replace the depth of face-to-face conversations. It's like chatting with someone about how life is going without ever living those moments together. The convenience of superficiality leaves a void because human relationships deepen through presence, not performance. The difference between real and superficial engagement lies in the details. An unexpected call, a visit over coffee, or even a thoughtfully crafted message has an impact that no digital reaction can match. Think of how an in-person conversation allows you to hear tone, see expressions, and build genuine exchanges. How about setting aside time to meet someone you only interact with online? You might be surprised by the impact of something so simple. Seeking more authentic interactions is also a way to reconnect with your own essence. By stepping away from the need for virtual validation, you create space to express yourself more genuinely. It's in moments of real connection that we find meaning, while social media can only serve as an extension of that, not the core. This realization leads to a larger reflection. How can we apply these insights to build deeper and more meaningful relationships?